Hello and welcome to my February budget recap. I like doing these budget recaps because at the end of the month you know exactly how much money came in and everything that you spent your money on, so you can see how everything worked out and make any adjustments that you need going forward. I find it a little bit stressful making my budget at the beginning of the month and not knowing exactly what's coming in or if there's any expenses that pop up during the month that I need to adjust everything around. I'm thinking that I may have to do a budget update sometime in the middle of the month after my first paycheck and some of our bills have been paid. If that's something that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments and subscribe so that you can see that. So let's get right into my February recap. Okay, so first for my income, I had 2 paychecks this month. The first one was a little bit more than the second one. It was $808.59, and the second one was $800.83. If you're new here, I have been on mostly unpaid maternity leave, so my paychecks are significantly less than what they had been. Now, I estimated for this month, because I didn't know what my take-home pay would be, I estimated that I would take home about $1,300. However, when my first paycheck came, I noticed that I did not pay any federal taxes on my income. So that's why it is a lot higher than what I had estimated. I was estimating a tax rate similar to what I had previously, but with my decreased income, I actually had no federal taxes taken out, and so my income was a little bit higher than I anticipated. And when I noticed that I wasn't getting any federal taxes taken out, I decided to change my retirement contributions from traditional 403B to the Roth 403B, which is something my company offers. And so by switching to the Roth option, it took the retirement contributions out after taxes, so it did not reduce my taxable income, which is why my paycheck was about $8 less in the second half of the month, because I think I paid about $8 more in state taxes. So my husband's paycheck, it did not change. It was 3640.93. So actually this was a tiny bit higher than what we budgeted for, and that is, I think, because the taxes changed. And so he was getting a little bit less taken out in taxes by like 30 some cents. Our interest that we earned this month was $43.68. We keep our emergency fund in a savings account that is currently only earning 1.5% interest. It was, I think, 3.5% last month, and now this month it's only 1.5. I guess that's just the change in the rates right now. I redeemed one credit card cashback rewards, and it was $25. I budgeted that we were going to receive our tax refund, and this was pretty stressful because I filed our taxes maybe 2.5 weeks ago, and last year when I filed taxes, the state return came. I filed on a Friday and it came on a Tuesday. And this year we actually have not received the state refund yet, and on the last day of the month we finally received the federal refund, which was $4,997. So it's more than we anticipated, and we still haven't received the state refund, which should hopefully hit in March. And if you've seen my March budget with me, you will see that it was going to be a very, very difficult month in terms of our income. I think that my husband's paycheck and my paycheck were just covering our necessary expenses. We couldn't put barely anything into our sinking funds and nothing into savings. So, but once we get the state refund in March, we should hopefully have a little bit more money to work with and put into our sinking funds. I wasn't expecting any other income this month. However, I had opened up a checking account back in November because I needed a bank that had a physical location. All of our banks are basically online only, and I needed to cash a savings bond that I had received when I was like 2 years old. And I needed a physical bank in order to do that. So I found one that had a sign-up bonus, and I got that this month. So that was really nice. So we brought in over $10,000 this month, which is really nice. But we have a lot of debts. So we paid our mortgage, just the minimum payment right now, $2,705.45. We paid our car loan. We pay this every other week. So we paid our car loan twice this month, which is a payment of $311.07 for a total of $622.14 in car payments. My husband's student loans, the minimum is $382. And I don't know if anyone else is using Mohella for their student loans. They are migrating to a new platform, and they've been doing that for weeks now, and they won't let me log in. So I think that was paid, but I cannot view anything with the Mohella loans, with the student loans right now. If anyone else is having that problem, let me know. If anyone's account has come back up and they're able to log in, that would be great to know. My retirement account loan comes out of my paycheck, $236.22. So since I got paid twice, I paid that twice. So that was $472.44. So in total for debts this month, we've paid $4,182.03, exactly as we have budgeted. For our fixed expenses, our utilities are currently still $142. I'm still waiting to hear if they're going to increase that. We're on a budget billing, so they bill us at a flat rate for 3 to 6 months. Then they reevaluate and see if we've been averaging more than that or less than that. Currently, we've been averaging a little bit more than that because electricity prices have gone up. So I'm anticipating that they will be raising this in the near future. However, I haven't gotten a notification yet that they will be doing that. Car insurance has not changed yet. This is $163.74. Our internet, $29.99, has not changed. And my Acorn subscription did not come out this month. It actually, I think, will probably be coming out on the 1st of March. So I'll have $2 coming out in March for Acorns and $0 for February. So our fixed expenses are only $335.73, which is not too bad. For our FSA, that comes out of my paycheck, $20 each time. So we budgeted 40, of course. It took out 40, and we actually spent $40.43 this month. We had some like doctor co-pays or something for some doctor's appointments in January. My husband's Roth IRA is an automatic contribution, so that came out. Of course, we didn't spend any of that. For Acorns, I contributed $30.42. So this was, I think, 3 or 4 recurring expenses and one or 2 roundups. I mentioned in my March budget with me that I have updated my recurring contribution to Acorns to just do $5 a month because our budget is very tight right now. So I didn't want to be contributing quite as much to my after-tax brokerage since I don't really need to. For our emergency fund, we budgeted $2,000 and we will put in $2,000. For other, we will put in $1,000. Since our income was a little bit higher than what we budgeted for, we have a little bit extra to put into our other savings, and it looks like we are going to very soon need to be spending that. I may have mentioned it in one of my other videos, but we need to replace our roof. We finally got a quote for that, and it is a lot. We're doing the roof, the gutters, and actually all of the upstairs windows because they have signs of water damage. So we are replacing all of that, and it is a lot of money. I know that I mentioned in my 2024 financial goals that we are planning on taking on no new debt with interest. So they had a 10-year financing option, which had interest, and they had a 1-year same as cash option. If we pay it off within the year, then we don't have to pay any interest at all, and that is the option that we chose. So we are going to be hardcore saving up for that over the next couple of months. For my daughter's 529, we actually haven't opened that yet. We are planning to, hopefully soon. Still trying to decide between the Fidelity and the Vanguard. If anyone has any recommendations for that, please let me know. I still can't decide which one is the better option for her 529. So for now, we're just saving that up in a savings account, and then we will be putting it all into her 529 whenever we decide which account to do. So we have $2,112.85 for our sinking funds, and if you saw my March budget with me, I think we had, here, I'll just flip over there. We only had $195 to contribute to our sinking funds. It might be a little bit more once we get our state refund, but since we have more money to put in there than we budgeted for, I'm actually going to pad some of these sinking funds in advance. So I'm going to put $1,000 into our home sinking fund, and the reason why is because this month we spent $713.53. Now, we are on well water, which is why we don't pay water in our utilities. We have our own well, and because of that, we need a pressure tank to pressurize the water, and we need a some other kind of water treatment that reduces the acid because we have very acidic water. So we had gotten a quote from the water company that usually comes out, and it was going to be something like $2,500 for them to replace our pressure tank and refill our acid tank with the calcite or whatever it is, the acid neutralizer. And instead of doing that, my husband bought a pressure tank and installed it himself. So that was really great, and it saved us thousands of dollars. So that, but we still had to spend a couple hundred on doing that. For groceries, I'm also going to pad this one a little bit, put $450 in. This month we didn't spend quite as much on groceries, $291.19, so that was nice. For car and gas, I will pad this one a little bit, put $300 in there. We did not spend very much on gas either, $131.49. I think my husband filled up 3 times this month. Can't really remember, but I may need to be buying tires soon, so I'm going to keep filling that car and gas fund up. Our gifts and donations, I am going to leave that as it is. We didn't spend anything. There's no birthdays in February. For restaurants, I know we're on our low spend year and we're not supposed to be spending very much in restaurants. However, my husband's birthday is next month, and we'll probably go out to eat for that. So I'm going to double our restaurant sinking fund this month. We didn't spend anything out of it. For pets, just put what we budgeted. For baby, what we budgeted. We didn't spend anything for either of these. Oh wait, we did. We spent $12.44 for my daughter. She was outgrowing all of her clothes, so we went to the thrift store and bought her probably a little bit more than we needed to. I don't know if I was just bored this month. I went to the thrift store, I think, 3 times. And I also bought myself something. So put that in clothing and personal. I spent $6.32 on myself. For health, put $5 into our sinking fund. So that's for any health expenses that are not covered by the FSA, or if we go over the FSA amount in the year. We'll put $15 for travel. We didn't spend any. $45 for phone. Again, we didn't spend any. I think our renewal for our phone plan is in August, I believe. So we will need to have the total cost for renewal by August. So we're putting $45 a month away until then. So the rest of this I'm just going to throw into miscellaneous, and we did not spend any from miscellaneous. So overall, we spent less than we spent last month, so that's good. $5,713.16. So that was my February budget recap. Let me know in the comments how your February went. If you haven't started a budget yet, it's not too late. You can start any time during the year, and you can start with just tracking your expenses, which is what we always used to do. It wasn't until this year, when we started our low spend year, that I've set out an actual budget for each category of our spending. If you like my budget spreadsheet, I have it linked in the description. It is Google Sheets, and you can make a copy and use it for free. Thank you for being here.